Welcome to Watch This Instead for the 18th of November. It's Mustache-tember, which means it's time to grow mustaches for Dude's cornhole health. You grow a mustache, it makes men's cornholes healthy. Nobody pays attention to men's cornholes. Why would you? They're disgusting. But there's nothing worse than a rotten down, falling out cornhole when you're just walking down the road and your cornhole falls off. Then what are you gonna do? How do you keep the food inside? You can't. So grow a mustache in Mustache-tember for cornhole health. This is one of those weird weekends where all of the movie studio distribution people decided that they're gonna put all of their movies that don't have much crossover appeal and just duke it out and get as much money out of their individual demographics as they can. It's really weird, especially if you're a person that's not super in love with any one, particular film genre, where you're not a passionate, crazy action kung fu fan that might go see The Immortals, for example, or you're not 7, or the mom or dad of a 7-year-old, so you might not see Happy Feet 2, or you're not a 21-year-old girl with weird sexual issues, so you don't want to see Twilight, or you're not a bespectacled, and you also have a monocle underneath the spectacles, that's a triplical person that likes European art films, so you might not want to see Melancholia. There's not much out this weekend that has mass crossover appeal, which opens room for the best. It's hard to say that because Melancholia is really good, but it's tied for the best with Melancholia film that's in theaters this weekend. It comes out today, which is Alexander Payne's The Descendents. You know Alexander Payne because he directed a movie a couple years ago that kind of came out of nowhere and got super popular because it was really well done, called Sideways, which was, again, really well acted kind of comedy drama set in an interesting location that's not the setting for many films. In that case, it was wine country in California. Alexander Payne's newest film, which interestingly was co-written by two guys that you would know from Beer Fest and as the dean in Community. Those two guys helped Alexander Payne write the script. It's set in Hawaii. It's a family drama set in Hawaii starring George Clooney, but the true star, to use a cliche, is the backdrop of Hawaii. George Clooney prefaces the film by saying, when I talk to people from the mainland, he's speaking as a person from Hawaii. When I talk to people from the mainland, they assume that, I live in paradise and everything's great. Well, fuck paradise. And that's the kind of the tone of the film. It's a really interesting look at a location that, especially as a non-American, location that's not treated as real by a lot of the media. It's this kind of sunny, disposable backdrop for particularly terrible Adam Sandler movies and not much else. So to see an interesting family drama that's well written and well acted, that's not sensationalistic, where not every shot is sunshiny with girls' butts waggling by in the background, set in Hawaii is really interesting because it's a really neat place. The story is George Clooney, whose wife is in a coma and is dealing with two daughters, one of whom seems to not be able to forgive her mom because she knows a secret about her bad behavior, while dealing with the fact that he has to be in charge of the disposition of a parcel of land that was put in trust for him and his gaggle of irresponsible cousins, one including Beau Bridges, by their great-grandfather who married one of the last descendants of King Kamehameha. So it's an interesting look at this kind of complicated knot of Hawaiian politics, what it's like to be a haole family with a little bit of Hawaiian blood and money living on the island, while at the same time looking at this kind of weird, awkward family dynamic. It's really funny, it's really well acted and really well written, but the best part about it is the Hawaiian elements. It's not like going on vacation, because you would never go to the places that they go on vacation. They go to law offices and backyard barbecues. It's like getting a look at real characters who live in a place that's completely alien, yet somehow familiar because they're American, which is really pleasant. The soundtrack is amazing. It's all Hawaiian music, which is enough to just turn on and unlock the pleasure center of your brain. And the performances in the script are really good. So you should watch The Descendants instead of all of that other stuff, unless you're any one of those weird people that would like The Immortals, Melancholia, or Twilight.